festival is coming, and we are with Sylvie Ernoult, the director of the festival, because we want to know what's new about Cannes Festival 25. Hello, Sylvie. Hi, and thank you to be with us today.
Hello, how are you?
Well, thanks, and you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. A little bit busy at this period of the year. It's normal,
Yes, I
but
know.
uh, it's the
I
same
know.
thing every year.
Sylvie, what's new about Cannes Festival 2025?
First of all, let me tell you, I'm going to answer your question regarding new, but let me also tell you how we work, where we are, and what we're doing, because this show preparation is a hard work to guarantee the quality and the variety of the exhibition content. So our priority is every year to work on this, and it's a lot of energy. Now, this year, additionally to this work we're doing, this year we will emphasize, we have a special focus on the innovation. In fact, we are following the market. We are not creating things. Our job is to follow the tendency of the market and to answer the request of our exhibitor and visitors, and to be with them in their development and changes. And one of the big evolution nowadays is definitely innovation. And the innovation route that we create a few years ago is this year is going to be very strong. We consolidate this a lot. We are launching awards, so we will give awards to a certain selection of the best innovation presented on the market. And we have a professional jury to dedicate this award. We have 4 different categories of sustainability and innovation, and we are definitely making this much more professional and much more interesting for both exhibitors and visitors. In fact, the good things about this innovation route is that exhibitors want to promote their innovation because it's part of the contents of their new evolution, and they need to present that to their future client, future buyer. So they want to have this focus and be more showed and shown at the show. And the visitors, not all of them, but a lot of them, and more, because the younger generation is more and more interesting in this feature of green and innovation. The visitors are willing to discover and to know what is new and what is not new. So having this route, innovation route with big signage and green mark on each of the product, part of this route, make the 50 boats or the 50 products selected different and more emphasis among the 700 boats and all the equipment. So this is a win-win interest between visitors and between exhibitors. So this is really our main focus for this year. But I also need to talk to you about general what we're doing in 2025 compared with 2024. In fact, we're doing the same, mostly. Okay, first we have, as each year, and a very bigger number this year of number of avant-premières. Cannes is opening the season of the boat show in fall. It is the first one, and it's gather most of the avant-première, the new creation of the producer in the industry, and it's also gather all the journalists and the press. This year we will still have the powerboat from 15 to 45 meters in the Vieux-Port, concentrate in Vieux-Port, okay, which represent half of the fleet exhibited at the show, 350 boats. And we will have in this a lot of different category of boats from very, very international shipyard. Little things that we create this year with emphasis is the Power Cat Village. In fact, Power Cat is more and more interesting the market. It is one of the segments which is in a good tendency at the moment, and because those boats are, let's say, roughly cheaper than big classical motor yacht and yachts, okay, and they are providing the same space because they are multi-hull. So they provide good ambiance and good architecture, and they are more affordable. So it's a big improving segment, and we decide to put all of them together and to create a village, gathering all of them just for the visitors to be able to find them easily. This is one of the things we did in Vieux-Port. We also changed the entrance of Vieux-Port, which means that we are providing more space for the tender exhibition at the entrance, and we have a nice walking along the beach access to the show, and it makes the show more, I will say, elegant in his layout and very nice. So this is the main difference in Vieux-Port. In Port-Canto, the same story as last year, the sailing area, #1 in the world. We even reached 125 sailboats this year, monohull and multi-hull, compared with 120 since the creation of this area. And it is majestic. It is beautiful. It is one of the things I am very proud of with my team, because we create this sailing area concentration, and we are #1 again in the world, and it's a beauty. So even if you are not a sailor, if you are not interested in buying a sailboat, a lot of our visitors are crossing, taking the shuttle, and are coming to Port-Canto just to see this magic exhibition of the sailboats. So clearly this is something very intense and beautiful. Now we also have, since last year, the powerboat marina. It is gathering from 8 to 12, 13 meters powerboat. Very on fashion today, very demanding. Those boats, because they're smaller, are more affordable than the big guys. They're still very expensive because they are very well equipped, and in general they have very powerful engine. So this is not toys, this is real power boats, but they are still accessible, and they are taking a big part of the visitors' interest. So this new area is presenting over 170 power boats, which is a very high concentration. And to finalize with Port-Canto, we have the brokerage section, which is the same every year, but this year with 45 yachts as last year. The main tendency and the reality is that the boats are bigger and bigger. We had to refuse because we have so many 50-meter boats, and this is the maximum capacity for Cannes. We cannot exhibit this, so some has to go to Monaco because it cannot fit in our Port-Canto brokerage area. But the 45 we exhibit are really, really big guys, and it's impressive also to see that. So this is Port-Canto.
How much work is behind this boat show?
How much work?
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy job, We finish at 4 p.m. all year long. We have nothing to do. Sorry, I'm just joking. It's a heavy job, okay, and it's not only for me, for my entire team, and all the team is at least working 1 year ahead. As soon as we finish the show, we start the new one. We start the new one first by talking to our exhibitor and to debrief and to know what's good, what was not good. Then we study the visitors study to know what we just judge and debrief what has been doing in order to make the changes for the next year. Very important. If you don't listen to your clients, you don't know what to do. So it's not a matter of strategy. It is just listening to exhibitors and visitors and having in your strategy for the new one to integrate all these requests and demand. Not all of them, because sometimes we cannot do it, but when we can, we really work on this. So it starts right after the show, and it's in general for most of the team 12 months. Now, regarding the strategy, the evolution of the show, and the thinking of the big changes, most of the time for me and for some of my strategic people in technical as well as in communication and marketing, we are working ahead, and we are working 18 months ahead for the show. And nowadays that we have a working environment at the Vieux-Port, because they are doing some work, it's even more that sometimes we have to think about the 2 years coming. So it is a minimum of 12 months, and in general, it is more at least 2 years.
Cannes Yachting Festival is a boat show, but is inside Cannes, no? In the center. What are the benefits and the challenge of these things?
Inside the city, you mean? Yes, a lot of benefits, because it's one of the show where you are completely inside the city, and Cannes is definitely a very famous and very glamour city, no doubt about that. Okay, and so being inside and going access to the Vieux-Port right away in the on the walking of the Croisette and behind the Palais is a big plus, because the magic of the show is making fusion with adequation with the magic of the city. So it's definitely a big plus. This city is very well known, as you know. This is the Festival du Film. This is a lot of, we have more than 5 or 6 palace, more than 5 stars hotel, a lot of great spaces, monument, shopping. It's very luxury and very fancy.
The major European boat show follow each other in September, October. What do you think about this? It's a valid choice?
It's not a matter for us. Being the first one, opening the calendar, and being very different from most of the other shows, this is not a tough competition for us. I think it is good to have boat shows because it helps the industry. Sometimes, according to our exhibitor and some players in this industry, it is too much because it is too costly for them, especially at the moment where the industry is not in a great shape. It's become more and more costly. So too many boat shows is not good for the industry. Now, clearly, each show is different. Each show has its own position in segmentation. I give you the example with the Monaco Yacht Show behind us, okay, after us, 2 weeks after us, very luxury, okay. Monaco Yacht Show used to gather 50 meters to 120 meters yacht only. The big guys, and is exhibiting 100 of those boats, now probably 120 or 130 yachts. Okay. We were on the segment of 5 to 250 meters. So we were complementary. We were not in competition. Okay. Now it is clear that Monaco is opening to 35 meters, and we are us opening up to still 50 meters. So we have common boats together, and it's not a big deal. Most of our exhibitors, most of the big guys, I would take, for example, the big Italian, San Lorenzo, Ferretti, also Azimut, all these big players in the industry, they exhibit in both shows. But there is no damage. They are exhibiting up to 40 meters, 45, 50 meters with us, and they are exhibiting on the other side. And depending on the time of delivery, on different constraints, they may have a couple of them going from one to the other one. No big deal. Okay, so this is really something different. And if you compare with a lot of other boat shows, they are specialized more in different segments, and we are covering at Cannes most of the different segments from 5 to 45. So we are the only one covering everything. So we are not in competition with the one more specialized.
Okay, thank you. You have been leading Cannes show for more than 10 years. How has changed in the years, the festival?
10 years is a long time. In fact, I've been leading the show for 13 years. It's even more a long time. But during this period, industry changed a lot. But you know, it's not only the yachting industry. A lot of industry did change, and should you be used to sail on boats, being on the boats 15 years ago and nowadays is completely different in terms of comfort, in terms of volume, in terms of security, in terms of speed, because it is much more light and efficient. and also in terms of IT equipment on board. So it's the evolution is definitely very big. Now, during these 10 years, we evaluate also a lot the show in terms of volume. The show grows a lot, the industry grows a lot, and the show grows a lot because I have a great team and I've been myself working hard with them to make this development possible. We grow the show a lot. And nowadays, each time we are doing this new development, we need to, step by step, since a few years already, we need to reorganize, we need to make things different and clean them by category and reorganize the show. Because when the show becomes too big with not too big, but with 700 boats, you imagine that the visitor is going to be lost. So he has to find what he's looking for. We have to set up all this and sectorize the show. And we have been working a lot on the organization of the work, on the sectorization of the show, on the look of the show, because it's big, but big doesn't mean not looking good. So we still work on a lot of details to make this place beautiful and welcoming for the visitors. And we have to ensure this development. So this is really the evolution of the show. Now it's big. And it is definitely first one in Europe, and we handle this big show. To be clear, we are not nowadays, because of the work in the port, we are not increasing the number of boats since last year, and we will not for the coming 2 years, because until the end of the work, we have to stabilize the same fleet, and we have to make sure we can avoid inconvenience from the work, save the exhibitor and the visitors from those inconveniences. So we work much more on quality, signage, and visit of the visitors than the quantity.
How is for your passion for boats and you have a boat?
Myself, if I have a boat, no. You know what?
No,
you
no?
know why? Because I know I've been working with shipyard building boats. Most of my friends have been selling, and a lot of them are boat owner. Okay, and I've been on the water a lot of time in my life, but I know how constraints it is to have a boat, to take care of it. Okay, to maintain it. Okay, and it's a lot of work. Plus, it's a lot of money, clearly. And we have been chartering boats. When you rent a boat, it is much cheaper. So you don't need to own a boat to sell. And I never did it because it's too much work to take care of it. And clearly, being in charge of the Cannes Yachting Festival, I just don't have the time to take care of the boat. So if I can escape a couple of weeks per year and meet friends on the water and sail with them, somewhere in the world where it's nice and not in the office of Paris, I do it. But I don't need to own a boat for that.
But do you prefer motor or sail boats?
My art is more in sail because most of my friends are sailors. Also because the first 20 years of my career were more involved in sailing boats in terms of yachting. When I was in big maritime business, of course it was a big boat because it was cargo ship. But I am more enjoying sailing. But I grew up with my dad, who owns a powerboat. Okay, and I used to do this to enjoy, to share time on boats, on motorboat with him and my family. So in fact, I do both. I am very adaptable to motorboat, to powerboat. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do a lot of water sports activity with powerboats, and I am also sensitive to this product, which is more. It's different. It's more fun, dynamic. It's different ambiance. But clearly, sailing is something magic that you have on water and that is unique.
You have achieved great results in your career, but you have still dreams in the drawer.
You're talking about future when I will change and quit this job? Yes, of course. When you work very hard, I think it's a case of a big percentage of the population. When you stop, suddenly you say, I'm going to be able to do this, to do that, to do that, to do that, all the things that you did not have time to do enough. The main thing, of course, is spending time for yourself, with your family, with your friends. Of course, this is the idea of stopping the pressure and quitting the business. Then you need to do other things, because I am a very active person and I will not just stay in front of the TV 24 hours a day, that's for sure. So I need to activate and do other things. The first two things I can tell you I will do is first, I'm doing a lot of humanitarian activities, so I will increase this. And nowadays, with what's happening worldwide, it's very important to concentrate part of your time in those countries of the world who are in difficult situation, because the unbalanced situation worldwide is more and more. So I'm more motivated to develop this time in my humanitarian activities. And the other big things I want to do is to teach. Probably because growing up in this industry and in my career, I learned a lot of things because I had a good team, good opportunities. But the young people, maybe they not all have the same chance. And even if they have the same chance, they're young. And when you're young, you don't know really how to handle business, to handle management, to handle development, and all these kind of things. So I think that having all this experience, it is very important to transmit this experience and to transfer it to young people. Why not giving courses in different universities in Paris? It will be a great satisfaction to transfer this knowledge. So it could be one of the projects also I have in mind. So far, nothing else than preparing the 2025 show and preparing Constance, who joined us 6 months ago now, and and will take the helm soon for the 2026 boat show. So spending time with her, preparing all this with her is my priority, definitely. Okay, and it's very important to concentrate on this. Then when I will quit, when I will leave, probably one of my first pleasure will be to ask Constance to invite me at the show, and then I will be a regular visitor, and I will walk around and look at all this just as a consumer and nothing to do with professional eyes. Even it will be difficult to disconnect from this, I'm sure it will be a big pleasure to walk around the show with plenty of time. So this is my first objective.
Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you for this opportunity, for this interview, and we will see in Cannes.
No problem. I thank you very much. I hope that I answer most of your questions in the time dedicated, and I hope that I create the willing for all the people listening to you to come and visit us at the Cannes Yachting Festival in 2025 September, because it's going to be a great show for sure.